Okay, so I will be going over this essay, and its prompt is asking on whether the cost of college is worth it. So, in this student's example, in their essay, they started with, "Do you want to grow up to be like Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, or Barack Obama?" So they started off with a rhetorical question to hook the audience, and then they stated, "Do you want to be successful and have millions of dollars?" So a second rhetorical question that hopefully they get back around to later. Then they state, "I'm not positive that you will ever be successful like these inspiring people, but one way to become successful is you have to go to college." So, something that I didn't like here was that they said that they were not positive that you will ever be successful, which is kind of like an attack to the reader, saying that like they're uncertain if you can be successful, and that they said that you have to go to college, because not everyone needs to go to college to be successful, but they're saying that have to instead of using other words like majority or yeah. So every time I mention the word college, many of my friends and family yell and start to panic. So, as she states that college is equivalent to distress with her family and friends, I feel like it could have been worded better, as in college is distress because of cost, instead of separating those two, because it makes this sentence awkward as you read it. But then as it goes to the next sentence, it then covers the cost of college may be very expensive, but I strongly believe college education is worth the cost. So it's telling us that it is worth it, but still doesn't resolve the fact that it causes distress to her family and friends. Just gonna underline family and friends. Oh, there we go. Right, distress. Where are we at? And learning college could be very beneficial to you in the future. I don't know what this in learning is, but it's stating that college could be beneficial to your future self. And then once you graduate college, you will have a successful job and career. I also disagree with you will have a successful job and career, saying that like it's everyone will. I feel like this person could have stated it better, saying that like college increases your chances of having a successful job and career, and then you will not make your parents proud, but you will also make yourself proud. Also saying that like you will be proud of your college experience. There are people could not be proud of their college experience, whether it's they didn't try hard enough and they didn't get a good grades, or I don't know, I just don't agree with that you would make your parents proud and make yourself proud. I think that part should just be left out. So to go on to the next paragraph, primarily, college education is worth the cost because you will never find yourself working in a fast food restaurant such as McDonald's or Burger King. Another example where this person uses a word saying that you will never, because they're still college kids or people who have graduated with college degrees who still work in a McDonald's or Burger King or any fast food joint. So saying will never is not a strong decision. It's not a good decision. However, many people don't have a choice to work at fast food restaurants because they can't afford college because their parents can't afford it. So to say that that their lack of going to college is because of money, because their parents don't have money, isn't a strong argument, because when you say that you can't go to college because you can't have money, but you're saying that college is worth its cost up here, then you need to resolve that issue of college being expensive while also being able to pay for that college. Okay? So hopefully that'll be resolved soon, but right now it's causing tension in this paper. But then it goes on to say that there are a plethora of ways one can pay for college. First and foremost, there's financial aid. So that's one example. Oh, sorry. So they can get financial aid to help pay for that college. And once financial aid is taken into account, okay, so there's no integration right here between her last sentence and the next one. It's just a drop quote, and because there's no integration there, we don't know who's saying it, or the context behind whoever said or wrote this quote. So they need integration. And so then it says that once financial aid is taken into account, average net tuition and fees at public four-year colleges this past year were only about $2,000. So saying that after the financial aid, then tuition and fees lower to $2,000, but doesn't state where they were initially, so we don't know how far that dropped. And $2,000 is still a lot of money. Many people are tutoring themselves many people are torturing themselves by becoming retail salespeople, home estate, plumbers, etc. So it's saying that these kind of manual labor jobs are unpreferred and unwanted by the common people. And then on the top of their next page, there, give me see that. I think we can. Okay. Because they can't afford college. So, I also disagree with that sentence because saying that no one would ever want to be a home real estate owner or a salesperson or a plumber, but there are many people who enjoy those kinds of tasks and love their career in those fields. So saying that non-college equals unhappiness. No, that isn't always true. Let's see if it's resolved later. Sure, they might look happy, but are they really? So they're questioning their happiness in their job, which is non-college based. And then we have another one of those drop quotes with no integration. So, where is the integration? And let's just read the quote. Education helps people do higher skilled work, get jobs with better paying companies, or open their own businesses. Source D. So it's saying that college or this education gets people to higher skilled work and better paying jobs. So yeah, that is a fact from that source. But it just didn't have any integration, which makes it a weak expression of facts. And then their conclusion for this is, in the end, education provides happiness and successful. So I assume that they mean that college brings happiness and success. Cut off that full. Yeah, so their claim at the end of that is college equals happiness. And that non-college is unhappiness up here. So let's just head down to this next paragraph. In addition, a college education is worth the cost, and many people would agree. So it's going back to their original claim that college education is worth its cost. Let's underline that again. Worth the cost. It's saying that now others than this writer would agree with that statement. So let's just go to their evidence, I guess. A 2011 report on a survey of 2,142 adults ages 18 and older. So they have a pretty good sized group of people, all of about college age and older, were used to find these statistics, and they show why college benefits them. Having a college education will not only improve your knowledge, but only improves your character as well. Statistics state, so this integration into their other evidence, maybe it's the same evidence. I think it's the same evidence. Anyway, it says that statistics states they could give more integration. So overall, on all of their evidence, they have very weak integration into it because it just says that these statistics state when they could say in a poll from a 2011 report on a survey of 2,142 adults, it states that 61% say a good work ethic is extremely important. So it's saying that over half of them like good work ethic. 57%, so also over half, say the same about knowing how to get along. Oh, sorry, you can see that. Yeah, let's scoot this over a little bit. Oh, there we go. That 57 say the same about knowing how to get along with people, and 42, so a little under half, say the same about college education. So, and this is from Source F. So they're saying that from these 2,142 adults, 18 and older, that a lot of them like good work ethic. They also say that knowing how to get along is really good, but less of them say the same about college education. So this is a little bit contrary to their initial claim, because back here, if you can see it, yep. Back here it says that having jobs like plumbers and stuff, plumbers and salesmen that don't need the college education, they're usually unhappy. But normally, like, those people have the good work ethic and know how to get along, which is the desirable traits here. But where college brings happiness is less desirable from these adults. Having that college education is less desirable than having things like a good work ethic and knowing how to get along. So that brings conflict to their argument. So I'm just going to write conflict. College doesn't always have to be about the cost. So it's straying away from college is worth its cost. It's straying away from that initial argument because college has a good investment. So it's saying that what you get out of college doesn't have to be about the cost, or that the cost isn't. Whoa. Okay. College doesn't always have to be about the cost because college has a good investment. So it's saying that you get more out of college than just paying for it. Wow. Okay. College benefits one's character by making them more mature and grow intellectually. So, in no evidence or part of the essay before has it stated that college makes people more mature and grow intellectually. It's kind of said that college is to make you smarter, so I'll give them that one, but it hasn't said anything about making them more mature. So I feel like we would need some kind of either evidence or just to leave out the character part at the bottom and just have this be paragraph talk about this statistic on how people view character traits and how they apply it to college, but just leave out that college benefits character because it wasn't stated in their prior evidence. Going on to the next paragraph. Furthermore, a college education is worth the cost. So, very repetitious saying education is worth the cost. It's been said many times throughout this essay. And it's kind of getting annoying how much it says education or college is worth the cost. Just like these three words, worth the cost, is said so often. But if we just kind of ignore that fact, because that's an opinionated statement. Furthermore, a college education is worth the cost because it will earn a living. So it's saying that college will earn you a living just by going through college. So there isn't any evidence there. They're just making another assertion saying that by going to college, you will earn a living, even though there are so many people who go to college and can't get a job, or like it just doesn't apply to everyone as they're stating that it does. Many students are being pressured about not going to college because they either want to build. Oh, sorry. Can we see that? There we go. Build things or fix things. Although, yeah, let's start with this sentence. So it's saying that they're pressured to not go to college because because they want to build or fix things instead of going to get an education. And then another time where it doesn't integrate well, it just says although and then gets into it without explaining who or why that author wrote or spoke these words. It just says although somebody has to actually do things, fix our cars, unclog our toilets, and build our houses. That doesn't mean they have to force themselves along these jobs. And so they're saying that people have to do that, but it doesn't mean that they have to force themselves to do it. But a lot of people like to do those things. People want to be mechanics. People want to be plumbers and to work in construction. And so by saying that that is an undesirable thing to do those things, even though there are people who do, is basically a lie in their paper. So I'm just going to circle those things. Force themselves along these jobs. Somebody has to fix cars, unclog our toilets, and build our houses. They don't have to force themselves. So they're basically saying that manual labor or trades are undesired naturally. And if they are not forced. They are obviously taking the easy road and not challenging themselves for more entry level jobs. So they're saying that if they're not forced to, then they're just taking the easy road and not challenging themselves. So by not going to college and spending a ton of money and doing something that they love, they're not challenging themselves, and they're just copping out early. Which is another thing I disagree with this paper, or this essay. Them stating that if they're not forced to, they're just taking the easy path, which is untrue, and they don't have evidence to support it, because their evidence up here is that somebody has to do these things, but it doesn't say anything about how college affects happiness or any of the rest of this paragraph. College education will help students to become more knowledgeable workers. I feel like these quotation marks are unnecessary because he's not quoting anything. And I guess this author is trying to add emphasis to knowledgeable workers. But I feel like those are unnecessary. And going on to his conclusion, to sum up, a college education is really important to have in your life because it illustrates how determined you are to become successful, like Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, or Barack Obama. So it's saying that college education is important because it shows how determined you are to become successful. And then it goes back to referencing Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and Barack Obama like they did back in their introduction, which I like, tying the beginning back to the end. And then they go on to say, I strongly believe a college education is worth the cost because there's scholarships, financial aid, and loans to help you through it. Probably meant to switch these around to help you through it. So they're saying that not only financial aid, but there's also scholarships and loans, which is new information in the conclusion, which is kind of a big no-no to because all of your information should be in your body paragraphs, but they're adding new information in their conclusion. And a college education can benefit one's entire life in a blink of an eye. So it's saying that just like that, for signing up for college and going through with it, it will change your entire life, just like that. Just signing up and going through with it. So just to recap their entire essay, starting from the beginning. Okay. Going back to all those unfinished questions. So it starts with their first rhetorical question: do you want to grow up to be like Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, or Barack Obama? That's a question for you to answer personally. And then the second one: do you want to be successful and have millions of dollars? Well, through this essay, it tells us that college is worth it, even though it's expensive, because um, you have the opportunity to um, to have a successful job, and yeah. So it's saying that because of college, you can be successful and potentially make these millions of dollars, but it didn't say like how expensive college is and how it compares to the real world. How uh, it didn't compare college price to the living wage, or gives any context to how much college costs. It just says that college is worth it throughout the entire essay. Um, and then it never resolved the distress that it brought to their family and friends because of the cost. It just said that you can get financial aid um, to help with it down here where it says financial aid, and then in their conclusion paragraph when it also brought up scholarships and loans, but never completely addressed that distress that that their family has. And then again saying that we should leave this end part off about making your parents and yourself proud, because it doesn't fit in with the rest of the paragraph. How it says that we will never find ourselves working in a fast food restaurant. I say that that's an assertion that doesn't apply to everyone. 'Cause some people will. So they should use other diction there, saying like college education is worth the cost because most will never find themselves, or something along those lines. And then we already covered this financial aid part. Going on to the second page. I also didn't like that the non-college, how they express that non-college is unhappiness while college is happiness, because that's also untrue for some people. Not going to college and getting a trade is beneficial to some people, or like is their dream. So by saying that, by doing that, they're just copping out, isn't like a true expression. And then down here with these 2,142 adults and the evidence that was given, how it doesn't really apply to the end of the essay, saying that college benefits your character by making you more mature, but it never covered that. And altogether, how they never integrated their evidence well at all, or even at all, and then ending their essay with with their last paragraph, with the same assertion that education is worth the cost because you will earn a living. Some people just don't make it, like after college. So just saying will, and like applying to everyone, they should change up the addiction on those. And yeah, but over here saying that trades are a cop out, that everyone needs to go to college isn't an accurate portrayal of college, or the need for it. And then giving the new information in their conclusion paragraph. Yeah, so overall, this essay has a lot of things to fix, whether it's the transitions in their evidence or changing up the diction in all of those places. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of things to change. A couple things that they did well, and yeah. Also, I'm super sick.